Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Sanjay Gavi, Head and Assistant Professor in Department of Physics, Dr. Ambedkar College, Chhatrapati. Today, I am going to deliver a lecture on applications of interferometer. So, today's my presentation includes introduction of Michelson interferometer, applications of the interferometer, Michelson interferometer. Then second application of this Michelson interferometer is that the determination of wavelength lambda of monochromatic light. Then the second application of this Michelson interferometer is that the determination of difference in nearly equal wavelengths of sodium D light. And lastly, I will discuss about the determination of thickness or refractive index of the transparent film. So what is the Michelson interferometer? So we have seen previously this Michelson interferometer. So what is interferometer? Interferometer is an optical instrument in which the phenomenon of interference of light is used. For what purpose this phenomenon of light is used? Phenomenon of interference of light is used. So phenomenon of interference of light is used to measure the wavelength and the change in wavelength of light with accuracy. So such optical instrument in which the phenomenon of interference of light is used to measure the wavelength and change in wavelength of light with accuracy. This accuracy of the Michelson interferometer is up to the 1 angstrom unit. 1 angstrom unit means 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 10 meter, or the 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 centimeter. Now, there are the three applications of the Michelson interferometer. The first application is the determination of wavelength lambda of monochromatic light. Second application of the Michelson interferometer is of the determination of difference in nearly equal wavelength of sodium D light. In case of the sodium light, there are the two lines. One is having the wavelength 5890 angstrom unit, and another wavelength is having 5896 angstrom unit. So these two lines are present, these two yellow lines are present in the sodium D line, sodium lamp or sodium light. And third application of the Michelson interferometer is that the determination of thickness or refractive index of the transparent film. Now we see the first application of the Michelson interferometer. So that is the determination of wavelength lambda of monochromatic light. The Michelson interferometer is illuminated with monochromatic light whose wavelength lambda is to be determined. So what we will set up an experimental arrangement for obtaining the Michelson interferometer fringes. With a monochromatic light of wavelength lambda. If the mirror M1 and M2, we have seen previously that there are the two mirrors M1 and M2, and these two mirrors M1 and M2 are exactly perpendicular to each other. And when the mirrors M1 and M2 are exactly perpendicular to each other, then the circular fringes are formed. If they are not exactly perpendicular, then straight line fringes are opted. We have seen the different types of these fringes in Michelson interferometer. When the mirror M1 and M2 are exactly perpendicular to each other, then the circular fringes are optic. If they are not exactly perpendicular to each other, then the straight line fringes are optic. Thus, the cross wire of the telescope is adjusted at the center of the fringe. What we do? We will adjust the cross wire of the telescope at the center of the particular fringe. Now, the mirror M1 is moved up or down. This mirror M1, which is at the topmost position, this mirror M1 is moved backward or forward. Backward, and then it is forward. You may move in any one direction. In case of circular fringes, these fringes appear or disappear at the center. So in case of the circular fringes appear or disappear. In case of the straight line fringes, they will move lateral. They will move in one direction. It may be in horizontal direction. If the mirror M1 is moved through the distance t, now what we are doing? How much we are moving the mirror M1? So how much distance we are moving? So that distance is the small t. And what will happen due to this? The number of fringes are appearing or disappearing at a particular field of view. So the number of fringes n appear or disappear, whatever be that, that is the counted. Like T1 with the initial thickness of the air film. What is T1? We have seen previously that the mirror M1 and the image of the mirror M2, they are exactly parallel to each other. And there is a formation of air film in between these two mirrors. Mirror M1 and image of the mirror M2. So, T1 is the initial thickness of the air film between the mirror M1 and M2 dash. M2 dash is nothing but image of the mirror M2, corresponding to the bright fringe of order N1. Initial thickness T1 and a corresponding order is the N1. Similarly, the T2 be the final thickness of the air film between M1 and M2 dash, corresponding to the bright fringe of order N2. Corresponding to the bright fringe of order N2. And therefore, we have seen previously that 2T, 2 into thickness, it is equal to N1 into lambda. That is the condition for the bright fringe. So 2T into N1 lambda and 2T is equal to N2 into lambda. So these are the conditions for the bright fringes. So what we do now, we will subtract equation 2 and 1. So we get 2 into T2 minus T1. It is equal to N2 minus N1 into lambda. And from this 2T minus T1 is nothing but change in the thickness, and that we will consider it as a T. So 2T is equal to N2 minus N1, we will consider it as a N into lambda. Now, lambda is equal to, from this we will obtain the lambda. Lambda is equal to 2T upon N. So here distance T can be measured accurately by the micrometers. We have to measure the distance to which the mirror M1 is moved. So that distance is measured by the accurately by the micrometer tube. Thus, the wavelength of monochromatic light can be determined by using the equation 1. N is the number of fringes. So that we have counted in the experiment, and we have measured the distance T, thickness distance T through which the mirror M1 is moved, and from that we can obtain the wavelength of monochromatic light by using the Michelson interferometer. So this is the first application of this Michelson interferometer. So the problem may be asked on this formula, that lambda is equal to 2T upon N. You are given the number of fringes, and you will be given the distance through which the mirror M1 is moved, that is the T. So by using these two values, we can obtain the wavelength of monochromatic light. Then we will see the Second application of Michelson interferometer. So this is for the determination of difference delta in nearly equal wavelength of sodium D light. We know that in a sodium lamp there are the two wavelengths. There are the two yellow lights. First yellow line is having the wavelength 5896 angstrom unit, and second yellow line is having the wavelength 5890 angstrom. These are the two wavelengths present in the sodium lamp. Now here what we do, we will obtain the Michelson interferometer fringes. The experimental arrangement for obtaining the Michelson interference fringes in Michelson interferometer is shown in the previous diagram. We will set up the Michelson interferometer for obtaining the interference. A source of sodium light is placed at the point S in the Michelson interferometer. Experimental arrangement of the Michelson interferometer. The sodium light contains the two wavelengths. Lambda 1 is equal to 5896 angstrom and lambda 2 is equal to 5890 angstrom. The light of each wavelength will produce its own set of rings. We have seen previously. When monochromatic light is used, a number of rings will appear or number of rings will disappear. Or if the two mirrors are exactly perpendicular to each other, or if the two mirrors M1 and M2 dash are not exactly perpendicular to each other, then what will happen? Then the straight line fringes are moved in one direction. So to begin with, the mirror M1 is adjusted such that the distinct and well-defined circular rings are obtained. Now, we will move the mirror M1. Mirror M1 is adjusted in such a way that the distinct and well-defined circular fringes are obtained. In this situation, the bright circular fringes due to the lambda 1 will coincide with the bright circular fringes due to the lambda 2. So there is a overlapping of the different set of rings, interference fringes or rings due to each wavelength, and therefore the mirror M1 is moved now away. Then पहले क्या किया अपन ने, सेट ऑफ सर्कुलर फ्रिंजेस आर ऑब्टेन. इस वक्त क्या होगा, इन दिस सिचुएशन ब्राइट फ्रिंजेस due to the lambda 1 coincide with the bright fringes due to the lambda 2. The mirror now, this is the one situation. This is the situation. Now, the mirror M1 is moved away. Then it is found that the rings gradually become less distinct till a position is reached where the rings disappear. Now we are continuously going on moving the mirror M1. So we get a different position. So the gradually rings become less distinct. अपन दो जो सेट ऑफ रिंग्स मिल रही है वो अलग अलग पहचान नहीं पाएंगे. Less distinct till a position where the rings disappear. Now, there will be the one position at a particular particular distance of the mirror M1 that the field of view is uniformly illuminated. Less distinct. When the rings are less distinct, means at that time what will happen? The bright fringe due to the lambda 1 correspond to the dark fringe due to the lambda 2, because there is a uniform illumination. So in this position, the bright fringe of lambda 1 coincide with the dark circular fringe of lambda 2. This position of maximum indistinctness. Maximum indistinctness, and it is less identify the position of maximum indistinctness. So we cannot distinguish the two set of rings in this position. So when we are not we are not able to distinguish the two set of rings, then there is a uniform illumination. Means a bright fringe of one wavelength corresponds to the dark fringe of other wavelength, and because of that we get the uniform illumination. Okay. So this is the position of maximum indistinctness, and this position of maximum indistinctness we will note. Now, after noting the position of maximum indistinctness, now what we do? Now the mirror M1 is moved further till the rings become most distinct. कहाँ तक मूव करना है मिरर M1 को? ऐसे पोजीशन तक मूव करना है ताकि अपन दो सेट ऑफ रिंग्स है उनको डिस्टिंक्ट, उनको अलग अलग पहचान पाए. Let D be the distance moved by the mirror M1 between the two consecutive position of maximum distinctness. कौन सा पोजीशन चाहिए? जहां पे अलग अलग दो सेट ऑफ रिंग्स को अपन पहचान पाएंगे, वो डिस्टेंस तक मूव करना है और वो डिस्टेंस है t. During the moment, if n rings of lambda1 appear at the field of view, center of the field of view, then the n plus 1 rings of lambda2 will appear at the center. Center में क्या होगा? n rings, n number of rings appear at the center, and n of corresponding to the wavelength lambda1, and n plus rings of lambda2 will appear at the center. And therefore we have, for this condition we have, this is nothing but the position of maximum distinctness. Maximum distinctness. We can distinguish the two set of ranges. Then 2D is equal to n lambda 1. This is the condition for maximum brightness, maximum intensity, and corresponding to the lambda 1 correspond to the n plus 1 into lambda 1. और दूसरे रिंग का क्या होना चाहिए? उसी पोजीशन पे दूसरे वेवलेंथ का n plus 1 ब्राइट रिंग जो है, ये दोनों कोइंसाइड होनी चाहिए. तब अपन क्या पहचान, टू सेट ऑफ रिंग विल बी डिस्टिंक्ट. This is the equation number 1. Now n is equal to, from this we get from this 2D is equal to n lambda 1 and n plus 1 and lambda 2, and from this we can calculate the n is equal to lambda 2 upon lambda 1 minus lambda 2. So this is nothing but number of rings appear or disappear, or number of rings moved to the left or to the right. Substituting the value of n in equation 1, we get 2D is equal to n into lambda 1, n into lambda 1. So n is nothing but lambda 2 into lambda 1 upon lambda 2 minus lambda 2. Lambda 1 minus lambda 2. And from this, here one wavelength is the lambda 1, another wavelength is lambda 2. And here one wavelength is lambda 2 and another wavelength is lambda 1. So from this we get a lambda 1 minus lambda 2 is equal to lambda 1 into lambda 2 upon 2D. So we will cross multiply by this. So here lambda 1 and lambda 2, these two are the wavelength of sodium D light. Sodium light, that is denoted by the D light. Okay. So these are only difference between the two wavelengths is the 6 angstrom length, because one wavelength is lambda 1 is equal to 65896 and another wavelength is a 5890. There is a difference of only the 6 angstrom length. So therefore, where lambda is equal to lambda 1 plus lambda 2, and here we will make the substitution that lambda 1 into lambda 2 it is equal to lambda square, and where lambda is equal to lambda 1 plus lambda 2 upon 2, that is nothing but average of the two wavelengths we will consider, and lambda 1 into lambda 2, that we will consider it as a lambda, because both are nearly exact and nearly same, and therefore lambda 1 minus lambda 2, that is nothing but the difference in wavelength. So delta lambda is equal to lambda 1 minus lambda 2 is equal to lambda square upon 2d. So this is the equation number 4. So delta lambda is the change in wavelength or difference in wavelength of two sodium D line. And here we know the wavelength of average wavelength of the sodium D line, that is nothing but 5893 angstrom. एक वेवलेंथ कितना है 5896, दूसरी वेवलेंथ कितना है 5890. If we take the average of the two, that will be nothing but 5893. So square of the 5893 upon 2d. 2d is nothing but it is the 2 times distance. Okay. So that will be measured. Then the by using the equation number 4, we can determine the difference in two wavelengths of sodium light. Okay. So with the help of this equation, we can determine the difference in wavelength of sodium D light. So this is about the second application of the Michelson interferometer. And then there is a third application of the Michelson interferometer. Sorry, there is one application remains. So third application of the Michelson interferometer is the determination of thickness or refractive index of the transparent. How we can determine the thickness of the air film or refractive index of the transparent liquid. If we replace this air film by the transparent liquid, then we can determine the refractive index of the transparent. The first measure M1 in Michelson interferometer is adjusted to obtain nearly straight line fringes using the monochromatic source of light. So we make the arrangement of Michelson interferometer, experimental arrangement of Michelson interferometer, and we will set the mirror M1 and M2 in such a way that we get these straight line fringes. Then मोनोक्रोमेटिक सोर्स ऑफ लाइट इज रिप्लेस्ड बाय व्हाइट लाइट. पहले क्या किया अपन ने, मोनोक्रोमेटिक सोर्स ऑफ लाइट यूज किया और उससे माइकलसन इंटरफेरोमीटर फ्रिंजेस, स्ट्रेट लाइन फ्रिंजेस मिलनी चाहिए, ऐसे उसको सेटअप किया. देन मोनोक्रोमेटिक लाइट सोर्स ऑफ लाइट इज रिप्लेस्ड बाय द व्हाइट लाइट, and we know that white light consists of the 7 colors ROYGBIV. So these are the different colors present in the white light. So we get a central white field in the field of view by moving the mirror M1 in the same point, in the same direction. Mirror को move करेंगे and we get the central white field in the field of view by moving the mirror M1. Now the cross wire of the telescope is made coincide with this central white फ्रिंज के साथ में क्रॉस वायर ऑफ द टेलीस्कोप को कोइंसाइड कर लेंगे. नाउ व्हाट वी डू, वी विल रिप्लेस द एयर फिल्म बाय द ट्रांसपेरेंट फिल्म. नाउ द गिवन ट्रांसपेरेंट thin film of refractive index mu and thickness d is placed in the path of the interfering wave. On passing the light wave once through the film, the optical path of the wave increases by mu minus 1 into d. ऑप्टिकल पाथ क्या रहेगा? तो mu minus 1 into d रहेगा on passing the light wave through the film. Since the interfering wave passes the film two times, and therefore optical path difference introduced in the two interfering waves is 2 times mu into 1. We have seen previously the through each glass plate the light wave interfering wave passing 2 times, one in the forward direction and the other in the backward direction. So due to which the fringes get shifted. Now we move the mirror M1 to a position again. Again, the central white fringe coincide with the crosswire. Let the displacement of the mirror M1 is x. Then the path difference introduced is the twice x, because it is the displacement is a 2 times. Displacement of the mirror M1 is x, and it is light is passing 2 times through the glass plate, and therefore we can have a path difference of 2x. So 2x is equal to 2 into, this is the optical path. This we have previously obtained the optical path as the 2 into mu minus 1 into d optical path of the introduced between the two interfering waves. Then 2x is equal to 2 into mu minus 1 into d. And from this we will obtain x by d. X by d, 2 get cancelled. X by d is equal to mu minus 1. And therefore mu is equal to 1 plus x upon d. 1 plus x upon d is equal to 1 plus 2x upon d is equal to 1 plus n lambda upon 2d. N lambda upon 2d. Here I have made the multiplication. I have multiplied by the 2 to the both sides, numerator as well as denominator. And from that we get 2x upon 2d. And what is 2x? 2x is nothing but n lambda upon 2d. And from this equation number 1, if n is the order of the fringe, lambda is the wavelength of monochromatic light, and d is the distance. So if they are known, then the refractive index mu of the transparent film can be determined by using the equation number 1. Value of d can be determined. So this is about my today's presentation. Here this unit number 2 is over. There are a few problems on this application of the Michelson interferometer. You can see these problems from the book. Then this unit number 2 will be over. Then from the next period I will start the unit number 3, and that is the diffraction of light. And after diffraction there will be the last unit, that is the polarization of light. The polarization of light is a very short unit. From the next period I will start the diffraction of light. So before ending this today's meeting, if you have any query, then you can ask. Otherwise I will end this today's meeting. Okay. किसी को कुछ पूछना है? Hello. These three applications are there. We have seen these three applications. Out of these three applications, first or second application is important from the examination point of view. So if there will be the descriptive questions, then uh, either first or second application will be asked in the exam. So if you have any query, then you can ask. Otherwise, I will end this today's.